Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. This is Jeff here at Walsh Trading. It is Thursday, October 16th. It's a couple ticks here after 7:45 here in the morning. The grain markets just paused here for the overnight session. Let's take a look here at the markets and see what happened yesterday, what's happened here overnight, and what might happen here later on today. Please keep in mind that futures trading does involve substantial risk, certainly not suitable for all investors, traders, or producers. All right, starting off here with December live cattle. A little bit higher yesterday, 27 higher, marking 9 days in a row of price gains here for the live cattle. Didn't really get low enough yesterday to kind of test 5-day moving average support. Didn't have higher highs. We did have higher lows. Tuesday's high there was what, 246.97. Yesterday's high was 246.97. If you saw those, like on a spike kind of version, or a day where we didn't finish up toward the highs, some might call that a little bit of a tweezer top potentially. Saw a similar thing right back here in late to mid-September here. Didn't have identical highs, but couldn't quite push up to new ones, and the market traded back here a little bit. Fundamentally still bullish. Technically speaking, the market's still strong, although yesterday's volume was down a little bit here. Lowest we've seen it here since, well, almost the beginning of the month, since the October 3rd, it looks like. Stochastic's pretty overbought here, reading up in 98 and 97 respectively. MACD still pointing up. Even if cattle do settle back, I think the 10-day moving average gives you real strong support here right around 240.17, or against those mid-September highs, a little bit above that here, 241.35. Long-term still bullish cattle. Feeders here, inside day down yesterday. Put together 8 days in a row here straight up. Had a doji here on Monday, opening and closing at the same price. Got a bullish confirmation here, what I would call a bullish confirmation Tuesday, but yesterday couldn't get any real follow through to it. Down 65 is where November feeders finished. Market is in the process of rolling over to the January contract, so next week that's the one I'll be talking about. But we'll finish off on November futures here for this week is of trade. 5-day moving average, we've been hugging right along it here in this market, giving you support 377.73. Feeders are a touch more volatile typically than fat cattle. If they revisit that August high, that would put them right at that 367.65 mark. You've also got the 10-day average giving you support here, 369.04. Again, like I said, for fat, still bullish cattle, but they need to, we've had a nice little stretch up here there and due for a little bit of profit taking. Don't see any sign of that yet, but the momentum is definitely slowing there. Looking over December lean hogs, tried to fill the gap yesterday, rallied up here, got to 84.35. Fortunately, they need to get to 84.45 to fill that little price hole in there. 5-day moving average offered resistance yesterday here. That's at 83.99 is where I see that here today. Next down, we're trading below the 100-day moving average. 5-10 days been on the sell side here for about 2 weeks or so now. Next downside target that I would see would be the 200-day moving average here right around 80.27. Corn's up a tick here this morning. 417 is where we finished the overnight session. Yesterday had a nice little day up. 3 3/4 cents higher here for corn, closed up above that 50-day moving average, above the 5-day moving average. 10 days still giving us resistance. That was resistance yesterday. It's been resistance here overnight. That's at 417.25. 421.5 is where the 100-day moving average is. If the market's going to get bullish, it's got to break out up above that here, in my opinion. Traded right along it for about a week and a half here from about the middle of September, almost to the end of it. Tested it again here first, right around the 7th of October. Couldn't get through it. We are setting lower lows with each subsequent move here in the market. We are also setting lower highs. So the corn market's not behaving very, very bullish. I'd like to see it trade higher a little bit, but eventually I think it will fill this gap here that when they left from July 3rd. But 438, 440 is roughly where you got the 200-day moving average, and I think that might cap rallies here for a while. 450 would be great, but I'm not sure we'll see that. November soybeans posted an equilibrium day here yesterday, opening and closing at the same price, 10.06.5, sharply sideways, unchanged on the day. You had 2 days in a row here of doji-ish kind of equilibrium type trade where the bulls and the bears, nobody's really winning, so we kind of come back to where we start the day. This morning we're up a little bit, up 3 1/4, 10.09 3/4. The low here this week has been 10.01. Short-term averages are on the sell side. Stochastics are starting to hook up. MACD starting to lighten up a little bit here down there at the bottom. We are competitive with on the world market as far as corn and soybean prices, but we need a better story here in soybeans. We need more demand, and we need to somehow replace the bushels that China would normally be buying from us. December soy meal. We had a nice little up day yesterday, up $1.60. Not a huge day by any stretch, but did close up above the 5-day moving average. Couldn't close over here Tuesday's high, and this morning we're down about 20 cents. Trend has certainly been down here in soy meal. It's been consolidating a little bit, maybe having some tough time trending too much lower here. Seasonally, it does tend to bounce this time of year, but we're just not seeing that market make a turn just yet. Soybean oil. 51.08 this morning, it's up 28. Now my charts flipped over to the sell side here with yesterday's trade. Now yesterday we finished up 23, up 23 there, but we had a pretty bearish day. That's a little confusing, right? We opened up 51.43, went up, and that was the high. We opened at 51.36 yesterday. Closed awfully close to the lows. Big red day there. Everything's kind of on the sell side here right now, but maybe the bean oil wants to trade back toward the upper end of the range. It won't. I don't think it'll get there today, but that number right now is 53.13 or so. Wheat continues to grind lower here, another 3 cents lower in Chicago today, 4.95 3/4. KC's down 4.84 3/4, down 3.5. Neither one of those markets, the trend is down. Did have a little bit of a key reversal here on Tuesday, but you got a doji in KC wheat here on Wednesday. You're getting no directional follow through except to the downside here today. Weather's been good for the wheat market here around the world. We've got a little bit of wheat sitting around. Stocks are pretty high. The only other market that I've got a new trade recommendation or trade signal in today, I should clarify that, it's the Russell 2000. That's up 11.5 here, 25.47, pushing up higher here 1, 2, 3, 4 days so far this week. Breaking out of the range that we had here from last Friday, that 50-day moving average hold, and the broader market does look like it wants to go higher. The more commonly traded ones, the S&P 500 is also up here a little bit today. 50-day moving average held here from Friday and again here on Tuesday. NASDAQ is up 168 or so. Also trying to bounce higher. Still can't get out of Friday's range, and that's going to be a tough lift. But once they do, I think the market does want to go up. And the December Dow is up 112 here this morning. Same thing, bounced off 50-day moving average support here last week. And finally finish off with the markets that just keep zooming higher. Gold's up another $51, $52 higher today. 42.53.60, showing no real signs of slowing down. Market continues to go stronger. Same thing here with silver. It's up 79.5, 80 cents higher here today. Both of those markets setting new contract highs. Silver's getting a little wonky here. I mean, we're seeing more red bars here more recently, but the uptrend certainly continues higher. A little bit of a bearish turn here yesterday. Didn't really like that candle, but higher highs, higher lows here and pushing up to new highs certainly strengthen that market back up. Do appreciate you folks listening. If you have any questions, comments, want me to cover something in particular, please let me know how I can help.